Listen, if it's a matter of life and death, you eat the damn applesauce. Just eat the damn applesauce. Welcome, guys, to Dead Walking Sundays, where we're talking The Walking Dead. And I gotta say, the first half of this episode was, 30 minutes of basically, before I get it started, of course, spoilers. So I'm assuming you saw the episode. This is my thoughts on it. So you have been warned. Spoilers. Like I said, let me restart it. The first 30 minutes of this episode was basically them trying to figure out whether they should believe this guy or not, whether they should go to Alexandria. We don't find out it's Alexandria towards the end, but whether they should go to this certain place that Aaron is talking about or not. So they tie him up. Rick knocks his ass out sometime. Well, he does knock him out. They see that he has a bunch of, food. He's the one that tells him he left the bottles. He's telling them everything about this community that basically Rick and the group that they want them. He wants them there. They're great assets. It's basically, if you think about it, it's very... I sided with Rick. I mean, you dealt with the governor. He offered the same damn thing to Michonne and Andrea, and that turned out to be horrible. So this guy's coming out, and saying all this shit. So do you believe him? Do you really trust him? And do I have a good, nice beard? I was just noticing Rick's beard the whole episode. But yeah. I mean, so, Michonne, Glenn, and Abraham. Abraham's a red guy. He's very red. When I see him, he's always red. He's just red. Well, anyway, they go check out basically if his story is true with these two parked cars. They ask him who else is out there, and he really much says whatever. I could have 84, 29, 30, 0. It doesn't matter. You're still not going to trust me. I can show you pictures. You're still not going to trust me. But I'm telling you, you need to trust me. And so basically, it's just Rick and Aaron while the whole group is seeing, if this is legit or not, or, well, Michonne and all them. And Michonne, man, it was really her episode. I mean, she really stood up to Rick. She's been standing up to Rick these couple of episodes because they check out the two cars are legit. They are. He's pretty much telling the truth. They go into the RV. They see there's food. They bring back the food, Abraham and all them. And, Rick is like, oh, thanks for the food. This is my food. This is not your food no more. Mine. My food. And basically, Michonne's like, so we're not going? I think we should go. I think we can't stay here. And Daryl's like, yeah, it smells like shit. We need to go. So Michonne has been really standing up to Rick. And Rick has been, because Rick's been kind of a dick, but it's, you got to think like Rick, like this could be all bad. He's just thinking best for the group. So Rick, says, all right, we'll go. We will go. So basically that first 30 minutes is whether they should go or not. So they take both cars. There's a lot of Rick and Michonne moments. It seems like they're getting closer and closer. These two need to fucking hook up already. I mean, come on. Just let them be together already. We all know that Michonne is basically taking the place of Andrea if you read the comics. I think this needs to happen. Michonne is very good with Rick. That's what I like about the TV show is I would have never thought, Michonne and Rick together. Because in Michonne in the comics, it's really different if you think about it. They're really different personalities. So Michonne in the TV series with Rick, it makes total sense. And, I really do like Michonne in the TV series as well. It seems like she's come a long way since the first appearance where she was just never talkative, had one emotion. Now she has a bunch of emotions. And when she's telling Rick and talking to Rick, you could see that in her conversation, especially in this episode. So basically, they go and they run into a herd of walkers. This was by far the best sequence. I loved the herd of walkers. I loved how Rick and Glenn, Michonne, and Aaron were in trouble while, the RV stayed back and we find out that Carl and all of them were safe. But I loved how basically they run into the herd. Glenn is driving. I don't want to go that. I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that joke. It's too easy. Well, anyway, Glenn is driving and he's driving like shit. Or is he? He did, yeah. Well, anyway, Glenn's driving, hits a bunch of walkers and stuff, and the car doesn't work because it gets flooded by bodies and everything for a moment. So they have to spread out, run. Aaron runs because he sees this flare go up. He says, "I gotta go. Deals off, bitches. Down." He leaves. Glenn. They all pretty much scattered. They all try to survive. Rick with Michonne. Rick, firing that. There's a couple moments like you could tell they were dummy zombies, but. Yeah, it was kind of funny when he shot the freaking flare at one of those zombies and it hit him inside the eye and it's like lighting up and shit and then it falls to the ground and at first it was dark, now it kind of lights up where Michonne could actually see where she's cutting. So, I mean, it was an interesting moment. I've never seen really that before. Well, maybe I have, but it was pretty cool. But yeah, so we got to that, and then we get to Glenn, and Glenn's, he thought he was gonna bite the dust, but no. He gets away from a lot of the walkers. He shoots most of the walkers, and then he helps Aaron because Aaron was trapped with one of the walkers as well, zombies, whatever you want to call them. I like calling them walkers. And he helps Aaron out. He pretty much cuts off the ropes and stuff. Says, if you're gonna fucking run, just go. Just go, because I know Rick's going to kill your ass because you ran from him. Just leave. And Aaron says, I was listening on you because they found like a bunch of shit in the car when they were driving up to where Aaron was telling them where to go, to Alexandria. And I did like how basically he stayed, and he had his gun, he helped Glenn. I love the part when they meet up with Rick and Michonne and they help take out all these other walkers they're having trouble with. And then Aaron's like, drops the gun. If you're gonna fucking tie me up and hit me again, do it quick. Let's just get this over with. I thought that moment was pretty funny. They regroup with the other group. They get back to this kind of like this building. They sleep the night, and we find out that of course Aaron is gay, and that's fine. Whatever. That shouldn't. It was just funny seeing like my cousin's reaction. They're like. I was just waiting, you knew there. I bet you a lot of people were like, whoa, what? Who don't read the comics, but yes, Aaron is a gay character, and he's the first gay character in The Walking Dead, which is, that's fine. It's all fine. That's what I'm saying. The Walking Dead TV show explores the sexuality, explores these different type of people. That's why I like, the comic. That's why I like the comic better than the show, where the show is kind of afraid to go there. They don't even want to give Daryl anybody. I mean, Daryl should be, he should be, fucking somebody. He should be banging Carol or somebody. But yeah, I did. So they finally got to where Aaron, we find out that Aaron is with Eric, and him and Eric is the other person who's been watching them. Eric has a broken ankle, and pretty much he thanks the whole group, and he says, you're coming with me to Alexandria. This is a safe community. They want you here. We want you here. I mean, you'll be such a big asset. And so they go to Alexandria, and it was pretty, I think the comics had a little bit more like a wilderness kind of feel to it, like with the gate and everything, but it looks good. It looks like Alexandria. So they get to Alexandria, and that's where we're starting, man. You hear kids playing and stuff, and Rick is, this is the first step to a whole different arc and a whole lot of trouble. I am not a crook. So yeah, I mean, I can't wait till they introduce the big bad baddie that we all know is coming. I can't wait till they meet Gregory. Yes, there's another character called Gregory, and there's another character that's a super badass that I'm surprised they haven't introduced yet. But I'm looking forward. They're definitely staying true to the comics now. They're really going with the comics flow. But like I said, the first 30 minutes they could have definitely just, it felt like it's just kind of slow. Definitely slow in the first 30 minutes, but the last half was definitely well worth it. Way better than last weekend's episode. So great episode. A lot of things happening. A lot of great moments. A lot of great walker kills. A lot of great interactions between. I like Aaron. I think Aaron's a great character. I mean, you could totally tell he doesn't like applesauce, and you could totally tell he hasn't been on his own very long. So, it's gonna be interesting what they do with Rick and Michonne's relationship. I think they're heading that way where those two are going to hook up pretty damn soon. I like these two together. I like these two interactions. I hope Glenn gets a little bit of a bigger part. You can see him, he really reasons with Rick. That should be Daryl, but Daryl, kind of been sitting kind of back. So Glenn is the one that's really talking sense to Rick. And I like Glenn, how he's stepping up to the plate. I also like there's Abraham and Rosita. Their little moment. I liked how Abraham, for instance, we'll make it. We're gonna make it. We're almost out of gas, but we're gonna make it. I like the humor that was in this episode. I think it really worked well. Overall, I was waiting for the questions to be asked to Aaron. How many walkers have you killed? How many people have you killed? Why did you kill those people? I was waiting for Rick to ask him that when they first captured him, but Michonne ended up asking him in the car. Great moment, liked it. So overall, really good episode. The second half, the first half, the first half wasn't awful. It just was really, really slow. But overall, if I had to think about this episode was definitely a step up from last weekend's episode. Definitely a lot of setup, a lot of things going on in the second half, of course. So, I can't wait till we get into Alexandria and we explore Alexandria and how much they pull from the comics and how much they make their own. I cannot wait till we meet a certain character. It needs to happen. And if Bruce Campbell's it would be pretty awesome. Alright, guys. Thank you guys for listening. Like the video, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on what you thought about this episode. Was it a better episode than last weekend's? That's the only question I got for you. So thank you guys for listening, and I am out. Until next weekend for another Dead Walking Sunday. Until another episode of The Walking Dead. See you guys.